Apparently in Persian, my first name means flower. Hello, today is August 29th, 2021, and the time is 2:52 p.m. This video is going to be on a topic that I don't know if it really has meaning or if it doesn't have any value. I don't know. I'll leave that up to you to decide. And some people think that this topic is real. Some people think it's just craziness. But again, I'll leave that up to you to decide. I just think it's something interesting about myself. And again, I can only speak for myself, and I can't speak for anyone else. So what I'm going to be talking about is the meaning of my last name. And I'm going to give a little bit of a backstory to this, and then I'm going to show some screenshots that I had put together from a long time ago. And 15 years ago, I didn't put my real name, my full name, online, so I took out my last name. You can see where I've done that, but it's my last name, and my last name is all over the internet now. So if you're wondering why it's blocked out, that's why. So I'm going to go into some history of it and then move forward and just tell the story for whatever it's worth. I've shared things about my death experiences, my near-death experiences, my avoiding death and everything else. So I don't know if it all ties in. People who have been following me for many years, people that I know, friends, some say that it's all connected. But again, I'll leave that up to you to decide. So my last name, well, let me start way back. So remember as a young child, with my parents, hearing a story about how our family, our bloodline, had fled what is known as ancient Sumer a few thousand years ago. And I never really thought much about it. I just remember, from time to time hearing that family legend. Now, fast forwarding to the early 2000s, I learned that one meaning of the last name means fortress. And then I started to dig a little bit, just out of curiosity, not all at once. I mean, this, what I'm about to share, was over a span of 10 years. And I don't know, at the time, as things would pop up, I would just think coincidence, whatever. And I remember coming across, there's an island off of the coast of what is known as ancient Sumer, with my last name. And it's apparently a very rocky island. It's a substantial size island. And there were articles about bird watchers going there and the U.S. military setting up bases and stuff there. And then there was other, something else I came across was an online role-playing game that was basically the land of Meriden. And I didn't play the game, I just came across it and started reading about it. And a couple of things that really stood out was there's a lot of emphasis in this game for some reason with politics and the fighting style, like the hand-to-hand combat fighting style. And when I was reading that, it paralleled very close to the fighting style that I once had when I was younger. And I just thought thought that was kind of weird. And then there's in Israel, I believe, there's a corporation with my last name, and they have to deal with military and lasers. So there seems to be a theme going on here. And I'm skipping over a lot of details and probably missing some more examples. I'm just trying to highlight something here. And then I have a friend who, we'll just say, who's from the region of ancient Sumer. He's actually Persian. And one day we were talking about my last name, and he said the meaning of my last name in his language is warrior for justice. And then he said to me, he goes, look at your life and what I was going through over the years, and I'm living in the aftermath now. Warrior for justice or fortress. So the two meanings kind of go hand in hand. I really don't know what to make of it, but him and I actually went to a store, just like a convenience store once, and there were some people who worked there, and I thought they were his people, and he said, no, they're from what is now known as Sumer. And I thought, okay. And I remember asking, I went back another time and asking the young lady there, she's very pretty, if she, I asked her like her background, and my friend was right. I'm like, wow, okay. Because their languages sound similar, and that's not being disrespectful. And I asked her, has she heard of my last name? She said, yeah, it sounds very familiar. She said the older generation would know what the name means. And I think there was like her father or grandfather sitting there, a couple of older gentlemen. And when I was talking to her, I looked over at them, and they just kind of eyes lit up. So I thought that was kind of interesting. And then there was another time where, I think it was around, this is several years prior to what I just stated, I went into another convenience store in another city far away, and this guy walked in, and he kind of like looked around. I walked in, I went to the back, I don't know what I was looking for, and I just noticed him, and then he came up to me, and the conversation was short and quick, and he said, what's your name? And I was kind of like, who are you? So I ended up telling him my last name, and he said there's an ancient city in an ancient province, both with having my last name. He said, you have to look that up. Like, he was just really adamant about that, very intense. Something different about him too. I can't put my finger on it, but whatever. So, when I left this convenience store, I went online and looked it up, and yes, there it is. Now, one of the things he said to me was, he asked how I spelt my name, and I told him, and he said, yes, that's you. I can't remember if there was a letter added. I'm pretty sure there was a letter added or taken away, but he was adamant. He goes, that's you. And just weird things like that about my name. But warrior for truth and justice. There's an island with my last name. There's an ancient city and province with my last name. And again, I'm not trying to say that I'm anyone special or anything else, if it even means anything or whatever, but all these kind of things just seem interesting, I guess, for lack of better words. So anyway, I just thought I'd share this a little bit. I'm going to show these screenshots after this. You can kind of just look through it and come to your own conclusion if it means anything or not. But looking throughout my life, I've always been one fighting for truth and justice, and no better example than what I went through in the city of Calgary, and here I am today. Anyway, thank you for watching. Please like, subscribe, comment, and share.